He did really well. I thought he did really well because, like, he gave me a lot of ammo to go off the respect thing. I mean, like, interrupting you and then answering your phone, like, it gave me more fuel to add to the fire. I thought you guys did pretty well with, like, doing your best to wrangle her in, and, like, you obviously, when you showed that you got aggravated with her, you turned it over to Alan to kind of bring it back in. I don't know. I thought it was very realistic mediation session would go, because like I feel like a lot of these other ones we've kind of toned it back, but since we had a lot of time, we kind of got into the deeper issues a lot. And I don't know. I thought it went really well, and I thought we played well off each other.
If you were to suggest one thing that could have been improved by anybody involved, what would that be?
For you to tail back the irritation, because it was very visible at times. And like I was trying to bait you with some of my language as far as like when I asked you that direct question about if you would pair, like you didn't go into that. So I mean that was a positive too, because I tried to bait you as much as I could. But I would say like and like you said that you had issues with your car and everything. So I would say try and detach yourself and make sure that you stay neutral face.
I would agree with that 100%. To be honest, my car wasn't bothering me. Jenny was bothering me.
Yeah. But
Jenny's character did a wonderful job of poking the bear.
Yeah.
So David, how about you? What would you say is the one best thing that was in the mediation tonight?
You know what? I would say how y'all actually didn't know at first Jenny, and y'all got to know Jenny real quick.
Fucking A, right?
Real quick. So I'm like, okay, so now I got them into my mode. Into where I stand, you know, so that was cool. How y'all caught on to that.
What would you say was the like the weakest part, or the thing that you thought could have probably improved the most?
You know what? I was so deep in the daggone character. I mean, because I thought, honestly, because of you, how you are, I thought that you really was playing that off when you was saying help me, was you?
Wasn't playing it off. I think that for a mediator, that's sometimes a tool where if a mediator you say to the disputants, look, you need to help me. I think if you verbalize that as far as a mediator goes, you let them.
When you told him that.
Well, no,
that's what I'm talking about.
No,
when you told him.
That
when
was,
you was like, yo, I don't know what to say.
And that was, I think I was being 100% honest. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't know what to say, and I was looking for some help. And I feel like when you have two mediators, that's exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, I need help.
Help me out here.
Absolutely.
I think that was nice too, though. Right. So you was throwing me for loops because I didn't know if you was playing a role or did you not know?
I was doing my best to stay in the role of the mediator the whole time, but I will honestly tell you, you did a wonderful and, as Mark said, a real realistic job of being someone who was upset and worked up and kind of all over the place, and very difficult for and to be honest with me, with you. Not only as a mediator here today, but me as a person in general. Someone who's super frenetic like that, with energy that bounds over, I have a tough time with.
I hear you.
I typically kick them out of the bar.
Yeah. You know what? That is the typical 25-year-old hood girl I just showed y'all. 3 babies before they even 25, you know, and just all... You know, sassy, interrupt the grown up, all that. Everything I did is what is what these kids, man.
To kind of take my term, I would reiterate what you said and what you said. I think of the negotiations or the mediations I've seen, this one smacks the most realistic to me.
This was deep.
I think David did a wonderful job of channeling his inner ghetto girl, and. I think Mark did a great job of playing a guy who, you know, the thing you said that there's a lot of different levels. You know, here's a guy who's an immigrant, not feeling respected, and that was a really key point. The respect thing. I mean, he said at one point, you know, money's important, but respect's an issue with me. And I think that almost anybody who is in a situation who's an immigrant, who maybe doesn't speak the language well, is what the script said. You know, feels like they're constantly being attacked, even if they're not. Right. And I thought that you did a wonderful job of portraying that as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that. So, in my opinion, the biggest strength of this mediation were the combatants. I thought you guys did a tremendous job. I'd like to put an asterisk. I think Alan did a great job of saving my bacon a lot.
I think y'all did a great job because you made him out to be the business smooth, kind of. You was, choice of words was real choice, wasn't too much. But when you said something, it was on point, but it was smooth.
And I would agree with Mark's assessment. As far as mediator go, I got upset, I got frustrated, and I got sarcastic a couple times, and I got snarky a couple times, stepping out of character. Which realistically, if we're trying to use this as a 100% learning tool, you can't do. So I would say that was the weakest point. Was again, I got irritated.
So I have a question for you about that.
That was part of the job.
Yeah, Webby. Well, I have a question, for you about that, because this is a learning experience and, safe to fail and all that kind of thing. So it's good to discover that, and obviously you had room to be that way here. So picturing yourself in an actual mediation, when that feeling would come up that, provoked you to do what you did today, what would you do with that feeling?
I don't know. I would say that one of my go-tos when I was a negotiator, like in the business world, was I literally did always have a beverage. And my, if you were to call it a tell in the poker vernacular, my tell when I was getting super irritated is I would take a stop.
Take a sip of your beverage.
Yep. And that was me basically taking a breath and putting it down. So I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I would say that knowing myself as well as I do, one of my biggest weaknesses is I don't have. You know what? I have a long fuse, but it's always burning. So so I don't know if that makes sense.
That's a good one. No, that's a good analogy.
That is a good analogy.
That's a great analogy. I'm going to use that.
So
I
don't know. I think realistically, I think if I were to ever go this into a professional level, it would take practice. And I mean, to be honest, I don't know what it would be is what it works, but like therapists, they have to go through like 3,000 hours of practice before they can do that.
Right.
I would imagine to be a professional mediator, you put in some serious time as well. Maybe not as much as a therapist, but you put in some time so that hopefully you don't get snarky.